Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula and
Jay. Good morning. I think I'm off center. Are you off center? A little bit. We got there, folks. We got there. It's live. It's live. Good morning. Happy Thursday. One more day, and this week is over, but it's not over for us. We got a busy few days coming up.
It is going to be a busy few days. Today, tomorrow, and then, of course, the big day Saturday for us for the event. Looking forward to it.
We haven't worked this hard for an event since the wedding.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's looking forward to it. But yeah, now is because it's finalizing things and getting things to the event and coordinating with all of our volunteers. So yeah, it's going to be busy, but productive and should be fairly straightforward.
Are we going to get a free cake out of this one too?
No ribbon, no cakes involved in this one. We got our wedding cake ended up being free because the ribbon I provided to put on said cake was not put on, and so they gave it to us for free.
Put on said cake. Somebody took a lesson in talking properly. I didn't.
No, you didn't. Bless you.
No, I skipped that class for sure. I just have a good time.
Yeah.
But no, the wedding was fantastic. For those that weren't there, probably none of you were there 20 years ago, as a nice little gathering in Mississauga.
Yeah.
It was where we got married, and probably the only green space in all of Mississauga.
At least that's left now. I can only imagine. Just but yeah, beautiful place.
Even then, it was like the only green space you can rent in Mississauga. You can't rent the parks. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time. I remember that.
Yeah, good times. Coming up to relive in August.
And a reminder to everybody that a Thursday wedding is very economical. Everything's available. The limo, the cake, the venues. That's what we did. Thursday wedding.
Midweek weddings. Stay away from Friday to Sunday. Yeah, everything is like there's a discount. Do it. And especially if you have lots of family coming in from abroad. They don't care what day of the week it is. So it worked out.
Worked out great. And for those wondering why in the world would you do a Thursday? That was our anniversary date.
Yep.
And you didn't want to wait?
We didn't want to wait, and one less date to remember.
You didn't want to wait. Let's be clear, because you told me when we were getting married.
Yes, I did. Well, I knew I wanted to marry you, and then bless him, we were kind of just in and around talking about it, like, when would be a good time to get married? And then he goes off to the bathroom. He comes back, says, "Okay, Thursday, August 21st, 2028. No, 2008. Done."
And I said, "Yes, dear."
Yes, dear.
Yeah, it was a good time because one less thing to remember. And for some reason, you really wanted that date.
I didn't want to wait another year. Like, geez, that would have been 4 years together.
21st of August.
Yeah. Also our anniversary.
Right. But you really wanted that date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. It worked out.
So yeah, she's a party planner. Big party. And the event on Saturday is coming together great. Yes, the volunteers are in order. It looks like we're going to at least record it for sure. And maybe there's some other announcements around that coming up soon. Yep. But like we said, the signature table is going to be there.
Yes.
So we're one of the first locations to work with Stay Free Alberta to get some signatures done. And you and I will sign it.
Yes, we shall. We're looking forward to it. Jason learned some information last night, which he'll share with you. But just as a reminder, if you want to get tickets for the event, it's fundamentaltruth.eventbrite.ca.
I like it when you talk like that. .ca. You're going to turn the letter over. I'd like to buy the vowel E.
I love that. That's a game with Countdown in England.
Countdown? I'm talking Wheel of Fortune.
I know, but...
Assimilate.
But for those who watch Countdown in England, they'll be like, yeah, I'll take a vowel, I'll take a consonant. It's a great game. Grew up watching that, helped you do math in your head and help you come up with words. It's a cool game.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune was for the letters. Ooh, brown glasses. And we also had Bob Barker. So math. And so we learned our math and numbers. What's it called now? Bob Barker Show. Come on. Drew does it now.
Price is Right.
Thank you. Price is Right. That's how we did our math. So you see Jay now? And I'm going
and then R.I.P. Richard Whiteley, who was the king of Countdown, because that was a 2-in-1 then. That was words and numbers. But yeah, R.I.P. Richard Whiteley.
And I'm back. Now I have my Drew glasses on. Go throw into the comments what was your favorite game show and what did you watch all the time, and it'll help you learn things like spelling, which I skipped all of those shows, just to be clear. But math and other stuff, and had some fun with it.
Yeah, let's know. Oh, and then Nick Hurley, my fellow tax slave, as you put it. Price of tickets, $20 for general admission and $30 for reserve seating for the event.
And at the door, there will be no reserve seating available because we're going to reserve the seats. We're going to do that before the event starts. But you can get general admission for $30 at the door. So get your tickets now to save 10. And hopefully we can be there. And again, if you can't, if affordability is an issue for you, we don't want that to stop you. So reach out to events with an S at thelevineshow.com and we'll hook you up.
Hold on, I'll just pop that on the screen now as well.
Yep.
Events at thelevineshow.com.
And I think we have room for 1 or 2 more tables at this stage. It's not too late. Hey, you want to give me a shot?
Yeah, that's why I was that way.
Gotcha. I gotta move the camera then. Because you remember that the Democrat lady? Get out of my shot. Get out of my shot. She's yelling at the staff or whatever. Yeah, let's not do that.
No.
So, no.
Get out. In the great words of Art Pulaski, Pastor Art Pulaski.
Oh, you guys say it like he says it.
I
Get out. Actually, he told me to stop doing that impression.
Yes.
He's like, no, nobody can do it like me. And then he does.
He is very accurate. Yeah, no one can do it like him. Especially someone who's not Polish and fled communism.
We're trying to
flee it now.
Flee communism now.
We're definitely trying to flee it now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so yesterday was a good day. Any Marvin update at all?
No, I was done yesterday. Like, I'm still not feeling 100%, but I wasn't feeling great yesterday. So basically after lunch, I crashed for the afternoon and then didn't really do much for the rest of the day other than start making jerky.
Ooh, yes. He makes some of the best jerky around. But Charlie's coming home this morning, or is it today?
Yeah. He should be coming home at some point this morning. D and B will be dropping him off from his, I don't know, near enough a week away. Yeah, near enough a week away. But yeah, he'll be home. And so Cece will be happy. The cats will start realizing, okay, got to watch out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having some of my furry critters. But Wilbur is still away and will be away until the next breeding cycle with Penny. Very
good. And Oscar's got to get put back into his place because he's starting to become dominant in alpha. I was coming up to the trailer last night and he was on the top step into the trailer. And I'm like, hi. He's like, what? He's looking at me like, what? I'm like, move. Like, are you new?
Yeah.
And he is.
Yeah, he is, exactly. But he is certainly out of the two. He is a little bit more dominant. He's certainly more willing to explore. Rascal is like, I'm going to sit on my pillow and chill. So yeah. And Oscar's more vocal, like, it's time to be fed. Like, I'm around that area. I'm like, just hang on, you're not dead. You'll be fine. But yeah, they're fun, interesting little characters.
You have to establish the alpha hierarchy and snip him or something. Because he is definitely, he just come right into my workspace and get in dangerously close to the fire and the heat sources. And I'm the alpha. You got to teach this little guy.
Yeah, you're the alpha over a cat. Yes, you are. I would definitely agree.
Very good. And thanks to everybody last night who volunteered to put on the canvassing training. It was a very good event, full room. We had to bring more chairs in. So It's great to see that happening. Lots of familiar faces and got to see some new ones as well. I can tell you Drayton Valley is absolutely ready to start collecting signatures. And we really should have bought some stock in BIC.
Yeah, BIC pens.
Because the pens are going to be used and a whole bunch of them. But yes, it was very good. So thanks to everybody who put that on and provided the training. Now, we did learn Elections Alberta. Well, they're saying that Elections Alberta changed the rules, but it was actually Bill 14 that changed the rules. So that would be our legislature, UCP government. Some of the rules have changed since Thomas Lusakic. That's the way we're going to stick to it. And this petition gets run. Some of the rules are different. And one of them, just for people's clarity, is the Alberta Prosperity Project can't run the petition. It's a nonpartisan organization. This is one of the rules. It can't run the petition. So the petition is being coordinated and run through Stay Free Alberta. And one of the things that came up was if you signed up, if you're one of the 300,000 or so people that signed up to sign the petition through APP, you're going to have to contact or stay tuned to Stay Free Alberta because there's a requirement that they can't contact you for the petition purposes through APP. But we can tell you to go to Stay Free Alberta. Stay tuned on that. I'm going to have one of my posts that addresses that, because the locations are popping up all over the place every single day now. And they're going to be near you. They're literally going to be like in every single town, and they're going to be happening, especially over the next couple of weeks. You'll be getting more notifications of locations. So if your intent is to sign, there you go. You'll be able to go to stayfreealberta.com. You can find them on X, and we'll post the ones that we're going to be at, including this Saturday in Red Deer. And again, you don't need a ticket to come sign in Red Deer. It's going to be in the lobby. There's a free table for them.
Yes.
They don't have to pay for anything. It's there. No ticket. You can come in, do that. And if you want to stay for the event, Paula will happily take we're taking Canadian currency at this time. But maybe something different next time we do this. But do go ahead and find a location near you and sign, and by the way, get there early, because as you're going to see in some of the posts, they're full. There's lineups out to the door all the way to the parking lot. More people are showing up than the population of the towns. This is fantastic, and this was day 2.
It is fantastic. I'm going to be excited to see it and be excited to be a part of it. There was a comment in our locals chat yesterday that they're so excited to be part of their future for once.
Yeah.
So I think that's great.
And the biggest takeaway that I took was your ID cannot have a PO box on it. So if you have a driver's license that has a PO box on it, the driver's license is good for your name and picture, but not your address. You're gonna have to bring a second piece of information that has the same name as your driver's license and your blue or green sign address, your 911 address, your civic address, because you can't use a PO box. So a utility bill, your credit card statement, your bank statement, something that has your name that matches your ID and your physical address has to be there, or you can't sign. You can't do PO boxes.
Yeah, for us rural livers out there,
a lot of us are set up that way. So bring something else, and if you're not sure, bring a few things just to cover you. Make sure that you have enough with you, because oh my gosh, I'll be so sad if we have to turn anybody away because they just simply don't have anything with their address on it. And of course, if your driver's license has your civic address on it, you're good to go with that. But that was a big heads up, because mine has a PO box. So I definitely have to make sure I'm ready for that. Alrighty. So, and again, it was nice to hang out with our pastor and his sons and his wife and have some hot wings. He can't handle his hot wings. That's what I learned.
Oh, morning, Chris. Chris Carbert's in the chat, but he just...
Oh, yes. And Chris Carbert, he's going to be at the event.
I'll just put it here. So APP can't send canvases and things have to be signed with this Stay Free. I want to post this. So Stay Free Alberta.
Thanks, Chris. Yes, post that. Stay Free Alberta is Mitch Sylvester's organization. He's part of both organizations. But in order to ensure that there's no hiccups or problems with Elections Alberta, because the left are absolutely going to try and create a havoc of some sort. Everything's being absolutely careful. Stay Free Alberta is the organization that you'll be signing with, and it's going to provide the petition.
And I've just put it in the chat as well for everyone.
And Chris, thanks a lot for posting that and sharing that. It's super important. APP is trying to figure out how can they let everybody know about Stay Free Alberta, and they're being very careful. So, but APP is still good for education.
Yes.
Okay. And APP is allowed to have town halls, events, whatever they want. And Stay Free Alberta can have a table separate from their event, but at the event. That's totally legal, totally allowed. So every APP event that you've already planned to go to most likely will have a table there for you to sign, but it's not APP people doing that. It's going to be Stay Free Alberta doing that.
And then DAA 1980, how can I join to canvass Northern BC?
Go to stayfreealberta.com. Oh, Northern BC.
Northern BC.
You're awesome.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. But if you move to Alberta, I think by April, because you have to be here for 6 months to become an elector in Alberta. So if you're here by April, you can get into that vote. You can put a yay on that vote. But yeah, BC, we hear you. Lots of you in Northern BC, especially the unceded territory that's up there. We hear you. Maybe you guys should get a petition going or a referendum on leaving Alberta or BC. Alberta would gladly take you.
Yeah.
We'll put that little cowboy hat thing on the top of our head there and reach to the West Coast. That'd be fantastic. All right, so Bruce party yesterday again. Cold water Bruce. He definitely brought up some things, a little bit of uncomfortable truths, but truths nonetheless. The process will not be easy. There's going to be a lot of resistance. It's going to be media, government, individuals, organizations.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of people are going to bring out whatever they can. And truth is not something that they value. Honor is not something that they value. So it's going to get uncomfortable for sure. And that's on the best day. So yeah, watch that episode from yesterday, especially the people that are supporters on locals. It got really interesting. No, he's not starting a water company. He should keep it cold, but he might be looking to change his address. I
think a lot of people are looking to change their address.
And speaking about Bruce, next week we are not going to be on the show, so there's no shows next week. I'll have next week because I'm going to be on tour across Alberta with Bruce. There's going to be several locations in Alberta that we'll be at, so we'll release those details coming up very soon because we're just finishing the planning on that. So I'm going to go hit the road with Bruce as we go talk to people across Alberta about the Constitution, some legal stuff. What can we expect? What kind of challenges are we going to run into? And then whatever questions you guys have. They're going to be small little events. They're going to be free. So stay tuned. We'll post that schedule. But next week, you'll be taking a week off. So will I, and I will hit the road.
Yeah.
And then be back the week after that.
Yep. And just a comment for you here, David. Will other locations sign up to be announced? I'm in Spruce Grove near Edmonton. I know tonight at the Super 8 at 7, there's going to be a training session. So,
well, if he's asking to sign up for canvassing or sign up to petition,
I don't know. Will other locations be? Will other locations to sign be announced? Yes.
Yeah. So let me just take you there now.
Yeah.
Let me just open up another tab here and show you on X where you can find this information. Rise Alberta is another good place because they're posting
Rise of Alberta.
Rise Alberta, yeah. Rise of Alberta. It's another good location. They're posting locations as well. So let me just find one. Don't buy a Rolex. Where is it? Yeah, we're gonna get into some of these posts. There was a post here with a bunch of locations on it. Stay Free Alberta by far is going to be your best. Actually, let's just go there. Let me show you here. So Stay Free Alberta. Because I'll take you to the website where they're posting the locations. It is one of my posts, so I had this lined up for you already, but let's go there right now. So Stay Free Alberta, click that link. Okay, sure, we'll accept your cookies. How to sign the petition, big blue button here, click that one. Then scroll down and scroll down. Who can sign? These are all the things you should know, so read them, especially before you go. ID is an important one, but here you go. So the 7th has passed already. So tonight, the 8th, how do you say that?
Basica. I don't know.
Something like that. So that is a signing location right now. So you can go there. One of the next ones coming up is Saturday, January 10th with us in Red Deer. So you can go to the Legacy Center and sign there. Vulcan as well on the 10th. Fort McMurray on the 10th. And then go through this. This is always constantly being updated. As badges are coming in and they're able to take the signatures, this list will be updated. And before you know it, this is going to be full every single day of locations. But you can start here if you're really eager to get started, and that's exciting. But one of the next big locations will be Red Deer with us. Come check that out.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Great question. And that's what a lot of people are asking. I want to sign. How do I sign now? And reminder, there is no online signing.
Yes.
And there is no fee for signing.
Correct.
So if anybody says to you, sign here, $5, $10, $20 online, there's no such thing. You're being scammed.
They need fresh ink.
Yeah, it's only in person and there is no fee. So keep that in mind. All right. So what else is coming up is a huge rally in Calgary, January 26th, 7 p.m. at the BMO Center. I'm going to be there. So come join us and bring your flags. But this is probably going to be 6,000 people or so indoors having conversations. And I assure you, there's going to be a few tables there to go ahead and take signatures. But check this out because I'm going to be there. It's going to be a good time. I know several other podcasters are going to be there. And just come shake some hands and hear some more information as we get things ready. But you can also sign the petition. That'll be a big event for everybody in Calgary. So the Critical Compass, a very good account to follow. They are up and coming content creators. They do really good work. They clipped our interview with Nadine Wellwood as she shared some information about the event on Saturday, hosted by us. And they're also, letting you know, John Carpe is going to be there, Leighton Gray, Bruce Party, Bath-Shéba, who's joining us today, Pastor Shawn Hamm, who's joining us today. But yeah, they interviewed her about the event and put a clip out there. So thanks, guys. And I believe both of them are going to be there as well. So if you want to come meet these gentlemen, do so. You can do so. I wanted to play this for you. So the most Albertan man in the world. There's a new video. Cool. I want to play for you. It's just a minute and a half long, but I love these. They're hilarious. And if you know the joke, you know the joke. And if you don't, we'll talk to Rubio. You don't know?
You don't. Now you know.
Now you know.
He heard Thomas Lukasik was afraid to debate Keith Wilson about independence. He found him hiding out in a hair salon, blocking people on Twitter. He once heard Ottawa wanted to phase out oil and gas, so he phased out their jurisdiction instead. He once worked a 2-week shift in 3 days, then stayed late so nobody else had to. He once went down south to play a round of golf with his American friend. He was happy to give him a few pointers on how to deal with communists too. He doesn't waste time arguing with liberals in Alberta. He just waits for them to move to Vancouver. He knows supporting independence isn't treason. It's called democracy. He collected 1,000 signatures for the independence petition in one day. The media said it was a small fringe minority. He said that was a funny way to spell thousands. He learned how to convince people to support independence from Cory Morgan. He uses a pen, a napkin, and 2 minutes of common sense. He doesn't want to fix Canada. He wants to free Alberta. He is the most Albertan man in the world.
I salute you.
Those are fun videos that are coming out. You can absolutely follow Rise of Alberta for that.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff coming out of Rise of Alberta. I hope I meet that person. I don't even know the gender. But I hope I meet that person someday soon. They do very good work. And those videos, excuse me, I got the hiccups, are a lot of fun. All right. So here we are. We were highlighting how you can stay tuned on the locations here. You can follow the account and the link to the website where the locations are. There we are on that website that we just showed you. So bookmark that and keep updating it and share it with your friends. And one more thing to remember is you don't have to vote, sign the petition and vote yes. If you want the petition, just so the question is asked, sign it. Lots of people signed Canadian Forever.
Canada
Forever Canadian. There we go. We got there in the end. Simply because they want the petition. So some of those signatures were people that were going to vote no. In fact, I had someone share a story with me where they signed the petition and then they let the person know that they were going to vote no. And they're like, oh, and they wanted to take them off, but they can't. Oh, and by the way, that's another thing we learned last night is there's this Facebook postings going on. I think we touched on it quickly here too, where they say they're going to sign up people and then throw away the signatures. That's a $50,000 fine. Destroying petitions, signed petitions is a $50,000 fine. So I don't think they're going to actually do that. But that's kind of the thing that's happening right now. That side is trying to play dirty. And here we go. This is actually this part of this post. The Western Standard, posted Forever Canadian group discusses sabotage in Alberta independence petition. And there's some screenshots from Facebook of exactly what I just told you. So I highlighted here, it won't work. They're just making it easier to see which side has honor and which side does not. Faith, family, and freedom, or fraud, freaks, and federalism. Easy choice. God bless. Keep it up. Yeah, because a lot of people who are in the middle, who are not sure what they're going to do, when they see them act this way, they're like, well, I don't align with that. And this is how they're acting. And then they take a look at the other side and it's just strictly professional. We're sticking to the truth. We're being calm about it. It'll be pretty clear who's really fighting for your future and who's trying to generate fear for your future. We'll work with that. So David EB of BC, he was asked whether or not the situation in Venezuela is changing his mind about lifting the bans and expediting a pipeline. And he said, absolutely not. Like, it doesn't change a darn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my post here was no surprises at all. Venezuela oil plays no part in this. BC NDP would never allow oil tankers on their coast. Alberta has to make alternative plans.
Yep.
Whatever those may be.
Yes.
We definitely need to make plans to get more oil out there. But no, the Venezuelan oil situation changes nothing. I think I touched on this yesterday. They currently export 1 million barrels a day. We export 4 million barrels a day to the U.S. alone. We produce, I think, 5 million barrels a day. And for Venezuela to double their production is going to take years. They're working on it.
Yeah.
They're working on it. But it's going to take years before they even get to that point. So no, the market for Alberta oil is not drying up. And no, we don't really have to get it through BC. We have other ways to get our oil to market. We'll work on that. And shortly, we may not even need to negotiate with Canada to get this done. So we'll see where that all goes in this next year in a bit. But of course not. Of course not. He's not going to say, yeah, let's get this done and let's go ahead and remove those tanker bans. The only way to remove the tanker bans on the BC coast, in my mind, is for northern BC to separate and do their own thing. So we'll see.
Yep.
Okay, I'm having that mouse problem again. JCCF posted here that 2 of Canada's objectionable internet censorship laws, the Online Streaming Act and the Online News Act, the U.S. government, as part of the trade negotiations, is saying you can't have those. So here's my post. Imagine that. Trump doesn't want to see Canada become a communist state and may force the Liberals to roll back Bill C-11 and C-18 during trade talks. So this is in addition to them saying Bill C-8 and C-9 are not good. That's the surveillance one, and that's the hate speech one. But even going back further, C-11 and C-18, they're saying you got to get rid of that crap because, first of all, it's impacting U.S. businesses like Facebook and Google and X and all that kind of stuff. And it's also censoring the news to Canadians from Canada. So there's a lot of pushback by the Trump administration during the trade negotiations to drop that. So I continue here. Carney said only he can stand up to Trump. I'm glad he cannot. Because look, I do love Canada. I really do. Even though I'm Alberta first and I think Alberta's prosperity and its future is independent, I still want Canada to prosper and do well. I don't want it to crumble and fall under the Liberals. That's the direction it's going. So I'm pleased to see things like this where other powers are saying, hey, you guys chip up.
What are you doing?
And at the end of the day, the U.S. does not want a communist state on its border. Does not want an insecure country, a country that prospers, lets terrorism prosper, the bad trading partner. Like, they don't want that. And they certainly said that during that press conference about Venezuela.
Yeah.
The Monroe Doctrine is to secure the Western Hemisphere, and Canada is in it. So I do hope, things do get better for our future neighbor nation. Because I definitely want to see them prosper. We would like to see everybody prosper. But your government, the Liberal government in Ottawa, is the ones that are holding that potential away from you. Andy Lee, thank you very much for highlighting this for sure. So Mark Carney is out there that says, Canada stands with Ukraine and blah, 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 blah. However, Andy highlights, that's why you're going to forge stronger ties next week with Russia's greatest ally, China. For Ukraine, the double standards, the hypocrisy, the crap. Yeah, of course, if you actually wanted to help Ukraine and you believe Russia is an enemy of Ukraine, why in the world are you teaming up with China? Well, we know why you're doing all of this, because your word means nothing. You're trying to disconnect from the U.S., and you actually need a trading partner like China if you're going to be dropping the U.S. So you have to be a hypocrite in order to get this done.
He's just such an awful human being.
He is. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. All right. And then the event, as we're waiting for a guest, both of them confirmed. They gave me the thumbs up this morning. They're coming. But as we're waiting for here, a reminder, Dr. Jack Mintz, which you met on Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to his speech because fundamental truth about the economy, get back to basics, understand it. Inflation, you got to be careful with that. Nothing's for free. UBI or guaranteed basic income would be incredibly expensive and inflate the dollar to incredible rates. Leighton Gray, Indigenous issues. He was on, was it Monday? Yeah, he was on Monday. Mia Hughes was on Tuesday as well. It still looks like we're confirming she's the reason we can't advertise on Eventbrite. AI said your content in your description violates our requirements for advertising. Like, oh, interesting. John Carpe, he won't be joining us this week for a chat. He's on vacation, but he's flying back. He's going to jump into the car and come to the event on Saturday. So we'll see him. He'll be talking about Constitution, a return to the fundamental truths about the Constitution. Bath-Shéba Vandenberg joining us here today. She'll be talking about global human rights and how globally there's international laws, and she's a proponent of Alberta just going. Don't bother with
just do it
with Ottawa. Just get her done. And she's not speaking from a place of speculation. She helped a country do that. She was part of defending the prime minister of, oh boy, not Bosnia. It might be Bosnia.
I don't know.
Does that ring a bell to you?
No.
It's one of the countries that left. They kind of started a little war, but they didn't have a war. I think one person died. Anyways, she actually defended a president who was seeking independence for this country. Bruce Party, yesterday, Coldwater Bruce. He'll be talking about, well, actually, he highlighted that to him, fundamental truth is a belief. It's a little bit more complicated than that, and he'll be sharing some of his ideas there. And then Sean and Teresa Buckley will be on tomorrow morning.
Yep.
I may not be on the show tomorrow morning, so it might be just Paula with Sean and Teresa Buckley as they talk about their fundamental truth as well. Sean is going to be touching on the administrative state agencies. He's been fighting Health Canada for years, way before it was cool. He's been fighting them. And Teresa is going to share with us some of her faith and ideas of how to spread the message so that people don't just walk out of that event, but they walk out of that event with some ideas of how they can spread all the messages that they heard there. So I'm looking forward to that. And by the way, you have fans. So I ran into a group of people yesterday that were asking where you were. I'm like, oh no, she's home with the kids. Did you watch the show? She's like, yeah, we watched the show for Paula. Like, oh, cool. So you guys are tea drinkers then? And they're like, yeah, we're tea drinkers. Well,
good morning to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, it was great. I'm great. Yeah, you're a celebrity. People like you.
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not.
A modest one. So
DAA 1980. Do you guys broadcast your events, or will you? Yeah. So
we're working on something. Okay. If you want to see the event live, buy a ticket, go to Red Deer. It's definitely going to be recorded. So at minimum, it's going to be replayed for you.
At some point.
So if you can't get there, do that. But there's some technical challenges to make everything live. And right now, we don't have somebody who's doing a live stream from the event. But just stay tuned to our feeds as we let you know when you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, let's go ahead and bring in Pastor Shawn Hamm and Bath-Shéba.
Good morning.
Good morning, you two. You hear us?
Good morning, Jason and Paula and Bath-Shéba. Good to see you all.
Good morning, everyone. It's still appropriate to say Happy New Year.
It is.
I think so. When you're seeing someone for the first time, yes, Happy New Year.
Yeah, and it's going to be a happy new year. I think, especially for us Albertans. We're looking forward to 2026. So thank you both for joining us today. As we were kind of just highlighting there, we're looking forward to the event on Saturday and all our wonderful speakers. Are you ready, Bath-Shéba?
Am I ready? I was born ready.
You're right on. I love that. And Pastor Shawn, you're going to be giving us a prayer to open the events. I'm very pleased about that. Oh, we lost your audio.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what we can do here to try and get your audio back, Shawn. We just had you. We heard you. So let me try that. Try that. Try
turning it off and on.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're back. We got you back. So you ready to deliver a prayer for us to open the event?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Really excited about sharing a little bit and praying for the event. What an important event to open up 2026, talking about fundamental truths in so many areas. It's a situation where we're in society where people make up what they think is the truth, and there is only one truth. And so I think this is really good that you're doing this. The panel of speakers looks amazing, and I would encourage people, don't just watch online later, don't watch the replay. You can't get it if you're just watching it online. You need to be there in person. So if anybody's thinking about attending this event, go in person. It'll be so much better in person than it will be online.
And that's the truth, isn't it? And that's the truth for sure. And he's not paid. He's volunteering his time to come and hang out with us, but that is the truth, especially when you want to be part of the Q&A portion.
Yeah.
So Nadine Wellwood is going to be collecting questions from the audience, real time, and then we're going to have an entire hour to go through some questions with everybody. And you would miss that part for sure if you're going to watch it a little bit later. And Bath-Shéba, how excited are you to be part of an event where we're trying to get back to the fundamental truths? Because I know this is what you deal in as a lawyer. You're always looking for the truth and trying to apply it.
Well, I would say it's. I'm excited generally about what 2026 has to bring, and the fact that you have this important showcase on January 10th at the beginning of this exciting new year is to me a really important part of this sort of gathering the troops, if you like, for standing up for our fundamental truths and freedoms. And so I feel honored to be part of that. So thank you for inviting me to speak. I always have a lot to say. And the topic for me, of course, is on the sort of the global human rights situation. And I'll try not to go color outside the lines, because we have experts on the panel that will be speaking to rule of law and other issues that I am also very passionate about. But the global human rights perspective is valuable because it takes off our rose colored glasses that we think Canada is so wonderful. Just an example, I was looking at the a couple indexes that this morning, and I have to just recall which one it was. The Global Peace Index, yeah, that was one. And Canada's number 14. We're not the pillar of the best. We're number 14. After, obviously the Scandinavian countries are always the top tier, but we used to float there up with the Scandinavian countries. We're after Malaysia. Love Malaysia, beautiful country. So yeah, we're number 14, and that's just one of the indexes. So it's interesting. We should wake up and realize that we're not what we used to be.
Well, I think the nation of Alberta will probably float right to the top. Very peaceful at the new nation of Alberta, I'm sure, if we get to that point. Now, what was the name of that president that you defended when it came to independence? I'm sorry, I drew a blank as I was doing the intro earlier.
Oh, well, I will have to just explain a little bit of it. It was about 20 years ago. I'm getting old. It was about 20 years ago. And I was working on a team of lawyers that was defending then Prime Minister Ramesh Haradinaj of Kosovo. So it was,
Kosovo.
Yeah.
That was it.
Back in 2007 and 8 and 9.
So when it comes to things like global independence or independence on a global scale, you have some experience there. You actually understand that and how things get done. Your interview that I recorded with you earlier this year is going to come out sometime this month. And I think it was kind of divine that everything's going to come out after the petition signature started, because I think all of that information that you shared with us and the rest of my guests are going to be very vital at this stage. So I'm looking forward to getting your interview out, because we talk about this. We talk about this particular subject on Alberta's options on how to get to independence. So Pastor Shawn, sorry I had to mute you there because there seems to be a little bit of feedback while others are talking. But now that we're good, I want to ask you, what are you looking forward to in 2026? You run a church. You can mention your church if you like, in Red Deer. And what are you looking forward to in 2026?
Well, it's interesting. As a pastor and as a Christian, I really believe that God gives us words for for the new year. And so I've been really seeking him over the last month or so, or even the last 2 months, asking him, what does 2026 look like? Because, there's lots of prophets speaking and there's lots of people speaking about what 2026 might bring. But I've never been a follower. And so I've been asking the Lord, what is 2026 going to bring? And I really believe it's going to be a year of blessing and curses. I believe those that have been obedient, those that have followed the Lord, those that have put Jesus first will be blessed. And those that have not lived that way, I believe will be cursed. And let me just tell you what cursing means. Cursing is judgment. And I really believe that the nation of Canada is in judgment right now for the way that we have left God out of education, out of government decisions, and all the decisions that have happened really this last 5 years that have really taken away our rights and freedoms. And so I believe judgment is coming. Judgment doesn't come from us as men and women. I believe judgment comes from the Lord. And so I believe it's going to be a really, really good year for some people, and it's going to be a real trying year for others. We see that on the streets of Red Deer all the time. I pastor the Remnant Church here in Red Deer, and we started that church in the middle of the COVID mandates. So the middle of the mandates where they were shutting churches down, telling churches they couldn't meet, but you could go to strip clubs and you could go to other places, but the church wasn't essential during that time. And so we decided that we needed to open up a church that was never going to close down, regardless of government mandates, regardless of those things that were going on. So we opened a church in downtown Red Deer in February of 2022. And we're literally 2 blocks away from the warm-up shelter where the homeless warm up during the wintertime and where they stay in the summertime. And about 2 years after we started our ministry, one of the foundational truths, if you will, that we really instilled in our ministry was caring for those that are in need. And it looks different for everybody. And I think that's really, really important when you're talking about fundamental truths. Not everybody who is homeless or who is struggling financially is a drug addict. So many people have lost their jobs over this last 5 years. People have lost family members this last 5 years. There's been so much division. And so when you talk to people that are on the streets, you find out their stories, and they're just like you and I, all of us in this chat today. They're no different than us. They've just gone through challenges, and they ended up on the street. And so, there's a real truth that needs to be exposed in that, and that's why last year around this time, I decided to go homeless in Red Deer to try to find out what these people go through on a regular basis. I lived on the streets of Red Deer for 5 days and 5 nights. I didn't take any money with me, didn't take any food. I lived the way that they lived so I could understand what they were going through. And it was interesting. What I found out is only about 20% of the people on the streets of Red Deer are addicted. The rest are dealing with some sort of mental illness or some sort of grief, and they don't know how to deal with it, and they ended up on the street. And so, this conversation, Jason and Paula, that you're talking about, and of course, Bath-Shéba, it's really, really important that we get to the foundational truths of whatever we're talking about, because in this society, there is so much misconception of what actually is truth. And you can Google a subject and can get both sides of the subject and still not know the truth. And so I think this event that you're putting on at this time of year is so essential as we go into 2026. And I believe God wants to do good things in Red Deer, in Alberta, and in Canada. Whether Alberta is a part of Canada or not, I believe God wants to do good things. But judgment is coming on our nation. Judgment is coming on our nation of Canada for how poorly our nation has been run. I saw the other day, I think it's $1.5 trillion of U.S. debt that we're in a country of 40 million people, which is completely unacceptable. So I'm excited for what the new year brings. I'm excited for Alberta independence. I believe that we need independence. We can look at what's happening in Canada. We can look at what's happening in America. And to be honest, I like a lot of decisions that are happening in America. But all it takes is to have a president or a government or administration that is like ours that gets elected there, and you're right back in the same boat. And so I really believe that independence is the only way of Alberta. And I believe the best days for Alberta are still to come. So excited for the new year.
Very excited for the new year for sure. Now, whether there's independence or not for Alberta, because that's we don't know that future. It's going to be whatever it is. We still need to be prepared to try and carry forward some sort of sovereignty within Alberta and work with Canada, whether they're going to be a neighbor or we're still part of that nation. In either case, we're going to have to work closely with Canada. And this kind of the idea behind this event is to try and get us a return back to the fundamental truth so that we have a foundation to work with wherever our future goes. And that's kind of the idea here. So this event isn't specifically about independence, although it's going to be the elephant in the room for sure. But it is about being prepared no matter what path we have. So Bath-Shéba, when I reached out to you first you said yes, like right away. It's in your backyard. You're in Red Deer now. So I was really glad that you're joining this speaker panel because you're able to bring another view to us about how bad can it get and how good can it be from a global standpoint. Like the number 14 on the peace index, there's some improvements to be done there. And we're sliding down it. We're not moving up it right now. So there's definitely some work that needs to be done there. So my question to you is the human rights side of things. You're a human rights advocate, and these are some of the things that are important to you. Are there things that Canada should start looking at or can start looking at or Canadians can start pushing for to assist Canada with or without Alberta in its future to address human rights?
Yes, I love your questions. They're fully loaded.
Yeah, they're always easy, right? They're just T-balls, right?
8 a.m. Well, I think I feel like it's a non-rhetorical question. We all know the answer to that, right? It's like, yes, there can be a lot that can be done, and so going to the independence issue as an example, and I was doing some research yesterday on the Forever Canada campaign, and I was reading through their website and what they had to say. And what we really need to do, everybody, needs to go back to basics on respect for human rights, fundamental human rights, because we've lost that. Our rule of law is crumbling. I mean, they are interlinked, rule of law and human rights. And I appreciate Professor Party will be speaking to rule of law. The right to self-determine is a human right. It's an internationally recognized human right. And I feel that this Forever Canada group is anti-rights based. It's not respecting our fundamental human rights. There will be a vote, and everyone in the Forever Canada campaign can vote no. But to create a campaign right now that is interfering with the self-determination of Albertans is an anti-rights movement by definition. And I say that. I mean, I've looked at it and I thought, well, yeah, because of what they say on the web page, they're actually trying to call the independence movement potentially violent. I mean, it's just these accusations are unfounded and anti-democratic and anti-human rights. And we need to stand together. And on that point, I'm going to now say something a bit controversial, maybe upsetting, but I have to say it. It's off the back of what Pastor Hamm was saying. And I believe in the freedom of expression, and I use my expression wisely, and I believe with some courage, because it's not easy what I'm going to say, because it's a bit of criticism here. It is not for me to pass judgment on others. If we are speaking about a judgment and this battle that people speak of between good and evil, we need to be open to other faiths. We need to be open to people who have a different belief system. Some people believe in the universe. Some people believe in God. Some people believe in different names for God. And so I'm somebody who respects different religions, and I come from a mixed religious background, Catholic and Jewish, and I've chosen the Jewish faith. And so it does actually not sit well with me when I'm told that I might be one of the cursed ones this year because I don't believe in Jesus. And that's kind of what you were saying, Pastor Hamm. And I'm not meaning to dampen your beautiful opening this morning. However, I think it's important to be mindful that some people do not believe in the Trinity and do not follow Jesus. And it's not because they're and some of these people actually I've met are calling themselves Christians as well, and they believe in God. And I think it's just important to respect and be inclusive of everyone's belief systems, because in Alberta and in Canada and in the world, where you were born determines your belief system. Your heritage determines your belief system. And then you can obviously make a choice in life, like I did. And so it's important not to pass judgment because I want to focus on the common ground that we all have. And that common ground is our fundamental freedoms, human dignity, respect for others, kindness, compassion. All of those messages are in our hearts, or in our souls even. And that's what that's a message that I would like to share with others.
And that's a fair message to share. And it's not even a critique, because in Christianity, we love thy neighbor, and we absolutely accept many people, regardless of their beliefs and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll certainly throw it to Shawn, but I think his heart's probably similar to mine. We love all our neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bible, though, so where I get my belief system from is from the Bible. And the Bible says that all scripture is God-breathed. So all 66 books point to Jesus, from Genesis all the way to Revelation. And I'm actually preaching a message this weekend on blessings and curses. And it sounds really offensive to people that may think I'm judgmental, or may think I'm hateful or bigotry or whatever because of that message. But the reality is it's the Bible. And so the more closely our country, which is founded on Christian principles, has actually stood by and had, when God was in schools, when God was more involved in government decisions, our country was more blessed. And you look at over the years when we took prayer out of schools and we did all these different things and we've run a godless country, the Bible says, it's not my opinion, the Bible says that you will be cursed. And so when we look at that, we look at the Bible. If we obey God, there's blessings. If we disobey God, there's curses. It's not my opinion, it's what the Bible says. And so if you obey me, Deuteronomy 28 talks about all the blessings for obedience. If you obey me, your crops will be fruitful. If you obey me, you will not be barren. You'll reproduce. And not just talking about children, but reproducing and everything. God called us to be a people that would be productive in everything that we do. And so there's the blessing on that. It speaks about the blessing of health if we obey the Lord. It speaks about the blessing on our cities and on our nations. And those that love me will be blessed, is what the Bible says. And so it may come across judgmental, but that's not my heart at all. That my heart is to preach the Word of God for what it is. And my belief system is based on the Word of God. And at Street Church, what's really interesting to us is we feed the people that are homeless in our city, and those that are hurting and those that are struggling, regardless of where they come from. We fed people that are Muslims, we fed people that are homosexuals, we fed people that are transgenders. We feed people from all different walks of life, zero questions asked. But we preach the gospel message of Jesus Christ, because the Bible says that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father but through him. And so that's the message that we preach. I don't hate anybody. I don't judge anybody. That's up to God to judge those that are unsaved, and that's what the Bible says. He will judge those that are unsaved. And but in the Christian walk, we are to judge each other and hold each other accountable in a loving way and speaking with boldness and clarity. And so I really believe that, I mean, that's what makes our nation great in the past, is going, you know, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Catholic, whether you're a Hindu, you're free to worship in any way that you want. But it's obvious to anybody in Canada, though, that Christianity is under attack right now. Christianity is under attack more than any other faith. You look at Pastor Derek Reimer, who is in the province of Alberta, who had a conversation, a 90-second conversation with a librarian, and has been on house arrest for the last year and 2 years probation because of a conversation that he had with a librarian about the Drag Queen Story Hour. Pastor Archer has been jailed many times in this province. You can list other pastors during COVID, Tim Stevens and James Coates, and there's so many that have been persecuted in this province. And so really Christianity right now is the most persecuted faith, because we're looked upon as being hateful and bigotry, and that's just not the truth. We love people the way Jesus loved people, but we love them enough to tell them the truth because we want to see them live the life that Jesus has called them to live. So I appreciate your perspective, Bath-Shéba, and you know, that's what makes our country great, is we should still have free speech. And Bill C-9 is trying to take that away from all of us, where we can't even say certain things, or I won't be able to preach from certain books of the Bible, is what they're telling me. The hateful books from the minister in the Liberal government saying I can't preach out of Romans, or I can't preach out of Deuteronomy or Leviticus, and that's where this is going if we don't stand up to this peacefully. So again, I'm excited for what God is going to do in this year, and unashamedly preach the name of Jesus.
Right on. So we're all executing our freedom of expression and our freedom of religion. And Bath-Shéba, I think what we have some common ground there is no faith should be targeted. It's a human right to go ahead and hold whatever faith and belief you have, and none of them should be targeted. And he brought up Bill C-9 there, which is something that's very important. This actually came up in the meeting yesterday. I talked to my pastor. We're going to be putting together a group at the church to highlight what they're talking about with Bill C-9 by excluding any religion and all faiths from protection against hate speech, because every faith and religion has messages that will rub some people the wrong way. So I think what he highlighted there was fair, that no religion and no faith should be targeted by your government or by your neighbor. So what are your thoughts about Bill C-9 and protecting it? And then also feel free, you got the freedom of expression, to respond to anything that you heard there.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've had a look at what the Minister of Culture and Identity stated.
Mark Miller.
C9, and just saying, you know, that parts of the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, you know, are promoting hate, and so he's basically advocating for chopping up holy texts, holy books, you know, the foundations of world religions, the foundations of the human constitution, of being a good person, and this is what belief systems offer to people, is they offer a guideline of how to be a good and righteous person and do good in the world. And without that, I believe people lean towards hedonistic tendencies and lifestyles where we see a total deterioration of human rights. And I really do value the exchange that Pastor Hamm and myself had this morning, because I think it's important to show Canadians how we used to be. We used to be able to have conversations and disagreements and still get along. And what's happening now is that because of the oppression, and there is an attack on the Christian faith. I have seen that here in Canada, and just tangentially, I believe that that's part of the overall objective to separate people's relationships with God and separate people's relationship with a higher belief that's higher than the government, right? That's ultimately the objective there. But putting that aside, is because of this oppression we've been living in, and people tiptoeing around conversations, what's happening is that people are repressing their feelings and their thoughts within themselves, and then being passive aggressive about it. So if they hear a message like what I thought I had heard from Pastor Hamm this morning, somebody will walk away with that and think, well, all these negative thoughts, be passive aggressive, and then start spreading hate, right, in their neighborhood, in their backyard. And we've forgotten the ability to have a discussion and be polite with people. So when it does actually surface, when people have all these feelings of frustration, and they might have had validation from the neighbors because they're not even like spreading exactly what they heard, it's what they perceived. What happens is that boils over, and people then become very angry and say hateful things, and are unable to communicate in a kind and polite manner. And when I say that we need to go back to basics in terms of our respect for human rights, religion is part of that. Freedom of speech is part of that. And of course, you might not like what somebody says. Well, that doesn't mean walk away and tell somebody to, to swear at somebody to go away and call them names. Mm-hmm. Have a conversation and agree to disagree, right? It's all about respect and human dignity. And one example that still exists today, and for me is an example of this togetherness in Canada, of what we used to have, and this one example still exists, so we still have it in places in the country, is that there's this Muslim man who's teaching yoga, which is traditionally Hindu practice, in a church. And I think that's wonderful, right? It's not as if somebody has to subscribe to somebody's beliefs to be able to live their life and to be in the same space and to share each other's assets, right? Because right now we're sort of, cutting people off. We're cutting off access to assets, and we're not sharing with each other as much because of this strict division between ideologies and belief systems. And that's terrible. It's incredibly divisive.
And mm-hmm. What I really like about not just this conversation is there seems to be a trend like this now. It seems like the pendulum is switching to being open with your faith, having conversations with your faith and mm-hmm. about your faith, and having dialogue instead of just canceling, shutting down, walking away, getting upset, and carrying that hate forward. There's a pendulum swing here. So as we're wrapping up here with the public, Pastor Shawn, what are your thoughts about that? Since like 2025 or so, there seems to be a resurgence back to faith, back to God. I've seen it. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that happened with Charlie Kirk. Whether people agree with Charlie Kirk or not is irrelevant. He went into very difficult places, and universities that have leftist ideologies, and went in there to have conversations with people, and I think that's really, really important, and that really woke a lot of people up when they saw his public assassination broadcast all over the world. And he was just having conversations with people and inviting people to come to the mic and ask him questions on why they disagree with him. And Bath-Shéba brought that up too. And I think it's really healthy to have disagreements. We're all different. We all come from different backgrounds, but we can have those disagreements. You don't have to like everybody that you talk to. It doesn't mean you agree with everything. But everybody deserves respect, and to have those conversations in a respectful way. And so I am seeing a real return to God since Charlie's death. Our church has grown from people coming. New people are coming that are just searching out their faith again during this time. I see people are becoming more bold in their faith because of what has happened. I think it's opened up more conversation. But a longer conversation that we don't have time for today is there's been so much division sown in our culture over the last number of years through COVID, through racial issues, through politics, whatever it is. There's been a design to sow discord and division among people, and a house divided can't stand. And that's really where we're at right now in our country and in our province. And so, my prayer is for the new year for people is we don't have to agree on everything, but we need to have more of these conversations where we can find out where people are coming from, and just be able to talk about it, because that's been lost. I remember as a kid, my mom and dad even said to me, and I think all you guys would remember the same thing. My parents would say to me, "Listen, you don't have to agree with everybody." And that was a fundamental teaching back then when I was in school. I remember I'd come home and I'd be upset about what somebody had said or whatever, and my mom would say, "Well, you don't have to agree with everyone. They can still be your friends, right?" And we've tried to instill that in our children and in our church and things like that. And so I think as we go into 2026, more of these conversations need to be had, and we need to see more of a unity amongst the freedom movement. I believe the freedom movement is so fractured. There's so many people that are going in different directions, and we just all need to come together. And if we have the same goals, which I believe a lot of people do, and that's to see a free and prosperous Alberta with less government control, then why can't we come together on those things? But I really believe we are seeing a resurgence of people coming to Christ, people coming to church, people coming to faith, because they're searching for something in this world that this world can't offer them. And it's the best of times to be living in. I really believe that. Esther, in the book of Esther, it talks about how she was born for such a time as this. I believe that we're born for such a time as this. God has chosen us to live in this time that we're living in, to make a difference in the nation, in the province, and in the cities that we live in. So looking forward to all that God has in 2026.
Absolutely. And I really appreciate how you put that. And Bath-Shéba, as we wrap up our public portion, I'd like you both to kind of stick around for our private portion as well. But as we wrap up our public portion, this is the goal of this event. We do want to do more of these in the future as well, because one of the ways to have dialogue is to come together and bring your disagreements with you, have a Q&A, talk to each other, and try and get back to the fundamental truths, whether it's about sex, male and female, whether it's about law, whether it's about government, and whether it's about global rights or human rights. Let's sit down and have these conversations. So this is kind of the goal for the fundamental truth, and it's going to become a series as we continue these conversations. And everybody's welcome. Bring whatever faith you have, bring whatever beliefs you have, bring whatever advocacy you want, and let's sit down and have a conversation and in a calm way, in a respectful way. So I love how you guys even demonstrated that. But one of the common factors that we're seeing here, Bath, and I think you're seeing it as well, is there is a return to conversation. And we're starting to get there. So that pendulum is swinging as well. Maybe it's tied to the return to faith, because after Charlie Kirk's assassination, it went from thousands of Turning Point USA places on the campuses to tens of thousands.
Yeah.
So after that, there's a lot more conversations happening now. So what are your thoughts on that as we kind of wrap up the public portion here? Are you seeing a return to dialogue?
Well, I would say in 2026, it's only we're day 8 in 2026. But I go to the sauna here in Red Deer, great sauna. I call it the local spa. It's that good. You pay a $5 and you get the steam and the dry sauna. It's excellent. But what's even better about the sauna experience here in Red Deer are the conversations that are being had.
Good.
So as I said, it's only day 8, so I haven't been there every day. But the few times that I have been there have been open conversations in the sauna. It's like I feel like I'm in this sort of like in the equivalent of like in the Greek era of like we're all a bunch of philosophers sitting there having a conversation and on difficult topics. And it's really interesting. So I would agree. Yes, there's more conversation. People, and that's totally natural because people have been feeling repressed and oppressed. But going to your point of Charlie Kirk and what he was doing and his assassination, I could say his passing or his death, but it was truly an assassination. That has perhaps opened up this portal of energy, right? I believe that we are all connected across the world. And that's something that I will speak to on Saturday, because there's been a decline in human rights and democracy and peace across the world. And a lot of it is centered on economic issues and freedom of expression. We're all connected. We're all made up of energy, essentially. And so if something happens somewhere else, like down south here on this hemisphere, it's going to impact us. Whether we even look at social media or not, we are directly impacted. And so that's why I feel very excited about 2026, is because I do feel that this love, this openness, this togetherness is going to spread more in 2026. And if people are actually, there's more people saying, the freedom movement has fractured and we need to get back together. I think the fact that people are saying that is because people want to get back together.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm really optimistic about 2026. I think there's going to be a lot of blessings. The best is yet to come. Day 9, day 10, day 11, we're going to get there. And the sauna is probably a great place to have heated conversations, because you don't notice you're heating up. You're already heated. You don't feel that body responding. And you're like, oh, well, everything seems normal still, so keep going. But maybe the sauna series, that might be something we should be doing.
Well, there's a couple of comments here. So yes, from Kim, there's always good conversations in the saunas. I frequent many of them in Edmonton, and the conversations are always interesting. And then a comment here from Derek. Where did it go? There it is. That's the positive results of COVID lockdowns, created a thirst for communication again. Yeah. Absolutely.
When you're being oppressed and repressed, your natural response is to open up. I'm glad that a lot more people are doing that. We got two wonderful people like the two of you in the Red Deer area. Go to the sauna. You can go to the church. You can go have some great conversations. And if you see Bath-Shéba in there, say hi and have a good conversation. So to you, hang on. We're just going to wrap up with the public portion, and we'll be right back with you, because there's a couple more questions I want to get from you. But this is the kind of stuff you're going to see at the Fundamental here at Fundamental Truths event, and you'll be able to interact, have some one-on-one time, and participate in the Q&A too. Yep. So bring whatever beliefs, bring whatever questions you have. You're all welcome, and I think we'll have a great time.
And bring your ticket, because you'll need that.
Well, you'll need a ticket. Yeah. Sorry, there's still division there between ticket holders and non-ticket holders. Sorry about that, Shawn. We're going to have that division, but if you can't afford a ticket, we'll still get you in. So go ahead and come. It's not about profits, that kind of profit. It's about sharing these messages and sharing how to bring them forward to the saunas and the churches all across Canada.
Yep.
So hang on, you two, and we'll be right back as we say goodbye. I feel so blessed for us to be able to have conversations like this.
Sure.
Share it out there, unfettered, unedited, and this is exactly how you have dialogue. We just watched here today.
Yep, absolutely. And if you like it, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And then you can also become a member for free, or you could become a supporter for a charge, and then where you can join us now, where we're going to have additional conversations with our guests.
And for now, we accept Canadian currency.
Yes.
Everybody have yourself a wonderful day. Do get your ticket. You're going to have Paula, Teresa, and Shawn tomorrow morning. I might pop up on the road via the phone, but I got to go and start picking people up at the airport.
Yeah, don't hurt your head on that.
So, and then we are not back next week, but we will be back the week after that with a full slate of great guests all over Canada. I think Dallas Brody will be joining us again as well. So we're going to have some good conversations.
Okay, everyone have a fantastic day, and see you tomorrow morning. So bye from me.
You take care of yourself and each other. I love you all very much. God bless.